Hi, everybody. We're getting ready to get started in just a minute. Can everybody hear me? Fantastic. So excited that it's National Pizza Party Day. It's finally here. We've all been looking forward to it for so long. I know people are joining us on Facebook Live and people are joining us on YouTube Live. I'm excited to have some family and friends from around the country joining us and all of our amazing Bell's Brewery fans that have been interacting with us, watching my nonsense all day today as I've been running around to different news media outlets and getting ready for tonight. I hope you're all comfy in your living rooms. I'm hanging out in mine. We want to make sure everybody has time to get signed into the live feed so that we can get everybody started and talk about pizza and beer pairings. There are more than 50 different restaurants and pizza places that are participating across the country, and we are just so excited and so honored that you would think that this is a fun thing to join us for tonight. Something that started as a really fun idea within a small group and then has gotten to be this National Pizzapalooza is absolutely incredible. We'll give people a couple more minutes to get signed in, and then we'll start talking about some beer and some pizza, if that's okay with all of you. Did everyone pour a beer for while they're waiting to get started? I hope everyone's out there and they have a beer in their hand. One of the worst parts when you tune into something live is you're waiting for the person to tell you to drink. So I'm going to tell you, while everybody is trying to get in and on right now, cheers, my friends. Go ahead and raise a glass, have a sip of something while you're waiting for all of our friends to arrive. You know, it's never cool to be the first one to show up to a party. Although I was the first one to show up to a party, but I'm a little awkward at times anyway. This is my favorite cup from Bell's when I'm hanging out with people because nobody ever knows what's in my cup, whether it is 6 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock at night, midnight, doesn't matter. I've got my amazing handmade pottery that was a gift that we got. I just heard that there's someone joining us from Finland. Hello, thank you so much for joining us. Definitely want to hear where y'all are from. I'm so glad to hear that Finland is in the house. So if you're joining us on Facebook or YouTube Live or on Twitter, please jump in those comments and let us know where you're tuning in from. That would be amazing. Tell you a little bit about myself. My name's Jackie. I get the distinct pleasure and honor of working at Bell's Brewery. It's a brewery that I have been so proud of and had so much respect for so long. So when I got the occasion to work my buns off to get hired there, I was so excited to join the team. And I have to tell you, I didn't even know how absolutely amazing it was until I got on board. So things like this are very Bell's. It's all about community. So we talked about it and said, what does everybody love and have access to no matter what is happening during this pandemic? And the answer is pizza and beer and good Bell's beer, right? So pizza and beer, no matter where you're at, we know that people can get from a local establishment. We were lucky enough to have over 50 restaurants and places join us, places like Checker Bar in Detroit, Michigan. We've got Pizza Mind coming in from Asheville, North Carolina, Pizza Paradiso in Washington, D.C., Mackenzie's Pub coming at us from Minneapolis, Minnesota. Their pizza sounds amazing. They're doing Thai peanut and jerk chicken, pepperoni, and margarita. Hi to our friends from Northern California that are checking in. Corelli's in Craig, Colorado. Oh, I can't wait to travel again. I don't know about the rest of you, but what a great occasion for us to kind of hang out from our living rooms and hang out with people across the country, gather together as a community, drink beer, eat pizza, and have a great time. A couple more of our friends that are joining us. We've got the Riverside Market in Fort Lauderdale, Florida, Dominic's Pizza and Pub in Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us for this Pizzapalooza tonight. Salud Beer Shop in Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's a fun fact. Besides delicious wood-fired pizzas, they've been named USA Today's Best Beer Bar the last 2 years. That's got to go on my bucket list for places to go when I can travel again. Now I remember. And then all the way in Vermont at the Tap House in Williston, Vermont. So we'll tell you more about some of our friends that have been joining us with specials as we go. But I think y'all are here to drink pizza and eat beer. Nope, that wasn't it. To eat pizza and drink beer. So we're going to get you started in just a few minutes. The way that the order that I've decided to taste in tonight really is just taking beer and kind of going by steps with it. I wouldn't necessarily want to taste an official Hazy IPA and then turn around and do a Lager of the Lakes. So I'm going to take us in a gradual step where we start with Lager of the Lakes, our Bohemian Pilsner. We'll work our way to the light-hearted IPA, which is new for us, and then the official Hazy IPA, which joined our ranks just over a year ago. And then we're going to finish our night off with this porter, and we're going to pair it with pizza. I am lucky. I know that there's a couple of different cities out there where there's multiple pizza places and restaurants and eateries that are doing different recipes. And I am so excited that I get to eat 3 places worth of pizza tonight. So you get to suffer through that with me. I promise I'll try not to chew with my mouth open while we're going through this. Just want to say hi to St. Simon's Island, Georgia. Thanks for joining us. Let's see, what time is it in California? Our friends that visited us from out there, 4 o'clock, early dinner, right? That's the perfect time. Some might even call it happy hour. And hi there to Erie, Pennsylvania as well. So like I said, I'm going to start with the Lager of the Lakes this evening. This is our Bohemian Pilsner. Bohemian Pilsner, some people might think of it like a Czech Pale Lager in that style range. They tend to have a little bit less bitterness than a German style Pilsner. So you're going to get some sweet hay notes and some, cracker notes as you are getting the aroma. I'm going to pour over into my glass. The first thing I'm going to do is smell my beer, right? So much of how we taste comes through what we're smelling. I'm going to pay attention to how I'm pouring. How about that? Hello to New Britain, Connecticut. New Haven, Connecticut is the pizza capital of the US. Huh. And to my friend from Finland, I have not tasted sati. I do know I've been studying to get to the next level of Cicerone, and I actually was learning a lot about sati as I was going through some of the studying. So I would love to try it out. Tell us more. We'll let the head go down on that a little bit because I was not paying attention. I was looking to see what you all were saying and not watching my beer quite right. So when we're talking about a Pilsner, so Pilsners are lagers, right? But not all lagers are Pilsners. So it's just the difference between a lager and an ale, and Pilsner is a type of lager that originated in the Czech Republic. So in a place called Pleasant. I'm probably murdering the pronunciation of that, so I apologize. I might do that a few times tonight, so please don't get offended by that. We are going to start with our Lager of the Lakes, and we suggested a Margherita Pizza. So we have this incredible pizza from Pizza Man. I am so proud of my friends there. This is the pizza sauce I grew up on. So once upon a time, my dad worked in a restaurant with the Delia's grandfather, and this is the pizza sauce that I learned to know as pizza sauce overall. So I'm super, super picky as I travel through to find out. They made that 4 pizza quadrant with Margherita Pizza, hot Hawaiian, sausage and mushroom, and then chicken bacon ranch. So we're gonna work from their Margherita Pizza. And then additionally, here near Syracuse, New York, I'm in Baldwinsville, a suburb right outside. We have a pizza. So a pizza does very Italian neighborhood traditional rustic style pizzas, and they really focus on the ingredients that are involved. So on the top here, you'll see they're a pizza. So it's a pizza regionale. That is the name of this amazing restaurant with the wood-fired pizza. And theirs is very similar to a Margherita pizza. Some of you might have chosen to just go straight cheese here, right? To go with the lager. So you do normally want to smell your beer right away because the aromatics in there, they're volatile. We can get rid of them. Oh, but that sweet hay smell that I was talking about, it's right there. Pilsners are super clean, so they don't kind of get in the way of other flavors. Take a sip of your Lager of the Lakes if you have it. The Bohemian Pilsner is 5%. You guys, nothing says Friday night like that sip of beer that I just took. That was fantastic. We're gonna do it again. Oh my gosh, that was so good. Hi to Auburn Hills, Michigan. Ooh, Auburn Hills, Michigan has an incessant, and that's it. I'm out. I'm super jealous here in Syracuse, New York. I haven't had an incessant yet. Come on. Not fair making me jealous like that. Raleigh, North Carolina, thanks for checking in, doing chicken bacon ranch pizza with spinach. An incessant ale? Really? Anybody else drinking incessant ale that wants to chime in? I don't have incessant ale. My address is, just kidding. So incessant ale, Old Brown and Official, those are all gonna do really great things with that pizza. Let me go back to my delicious, clean Lager of the Lakes while y'all are trying to, you know, put things in my face. Clean, comes over your palate. Let's try a little bit of this Margherita pizza. Who's excited to watch me eat on Facebook Live? I'm gonna try not to choke and try not to gross y'all out, but I gotta do it. You guys, wood-fired pizza just adds so much depth of flavor. We're gonna talk a little bit more about that later when we talk about my yard and things like that, but when you take a pizza crust and you've got all of those beautiful flavors in the dough that really complement everything that's happening with a malt profile, just the complements and the harmony are out of this world. So, you know, like I said, I needed 2 sips. I got to take another bite. We'll talk about it in a second. Hold on. What I'm going to do is take a bite, I'm going to chew, and then I'm going to drink some beer. I want to taste my beer on its own. Then I want to taste my pizza on its own. Then I want to see what kind of dance they're going to have together. Hopefully they're going to be great partners. That's our plan. So when I try the pizza and the beer together, thanks everybody for hanging in there while I did that. What happens is I leave some of that pizza in my mouth. I go ahead and I get the beer in my mouth. I'm breathing out my nose at the same time. For all us fancy folk, we're going to talk about retronasal. Do this. Please don't choke. Please don't choke. I tell people all the time, make sure you're careful when you do this. But when we talk about smelling the beer and we talk about kind of doing that retronasal as we're swallowing pizza, I always tell the story, why is it so important? Well, because what you smell is about 80% of what you taste when you're looking at flavor profiles. So, you know, when you get sick and you can't taste anything because your nose is plugged up, it's because flavor is coming through there. So when I just did that with the Margherita pizza, I got a little bit of a dance from the basil going on. That Pilsner and that nice clean carbonation and that little bit of hop cleansed my palate. I took that next bite and I could taste the depth of the sauce and then the cheese, and I was ready to do it again and again. And because I don't think that y'all want to hang out with me for the whole evening as I just mow down every bite of every slice of this pizza, I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna keep going. All right, but take another sip of your lager, enjoy the last bites of your pizza. I see that the David Hausers are saying hello. I hope they're having another date night. We did a virtual beer dinner and the girls were their waitresses and they had such a good time. I know they were prepping for another date night tonight, so I hope that they're getting to enjoy it all over again. We do have some other folks that have been joining us from around the country. Oh, Flo and Santos Pizza from Chicago South Loop. Thank you so much for checking in. Ooh, Tom, you dream about a Mexican pizza at the Ambassador. And I'm gonna mess this up. And you know the team is from Michigan. Everybody, listen, just have a little patience with me. In Houghton, Michigan, with a mango Oberon. Was it so bad? Was it so bad, guys? Did I do it so bad, so poorly? It's coming at me from all sides. Coming at me from all sides. Apparently, it's Houghton or Houghton. Houghton. So hope y'all enjoyed me massacring that word. I do want y'all to know that I went to school at Eastern from in Ipsy, right? So I got to school in Michigan and I came from Syracuse, New York. So I get out to school in Michigan. I'm telling you, I got to orientation and they were like, hey, where are you from? Hi, where are you from? I'm Jackie, where are you from? I'm from. And I was like, what are you doing? And then they're like, hey, look at Michigan. And look at my head. I was like, oh. So I started telling people that I came from here, right in the middle of New York. And then I moved over here. So one of my favorite things to do still as I go back and I travel to Bell's and I get the pleasure and the honor of, you know, getting to visit the state of my alma mater that I love so much. I'll say to people, where are you from? Put your hand down. You can do it. Mike, hello from Windsor, Ontario, Canada. Thanks so much for joining us. All those in Memphis, Tennessee, woo, woo, woo. Hello there. Good to see you. Let's talk a little bit about this next beauty. So this is our lighthearted low-cal IPA. This came out just before, you know, everything kind of got crazy for us. So we have been very fortunate to see tons and tons of sales of it. This is a staple in my home right now. Listen, I'm gonna tell you a little honest truth. I may be eating and drinking and moving less. A little more eating and drinking, a little moving less than I might have been doing previous to this when I've been at home on quarantine. So for me, this is the perfect alternative. This low-cal IPA has 110 calories. It's 3.7% ABV, so that's great because, you know, it's sessionable if we are out and about, if we're taking, you know, if we're having a couple pints at the bar. Y'all remember that? It's gonna be great. So we have that option, but at home, it really helps me get that great IPA flavor. I am an IPA girl through and through. I love my Two Hearted, I love my Hop Slam, I love all of the, you know, the representative IPAs, but sometimes I might need to lighten it up a little bit. The key to Lighthearted is that it has this amazing hop profile that lets it still have that pine and the citrus, even though it's at that 3.7%, and it's just fantastic. So if you haven't had a chance to get out there and get it yet, I highly, highly, highly suggest that you do and try it out. Go ahead and pour with me if you choose to. While I'm pouring, wanted to say hello. Okay, so I'm so jealous of this next location. I know that Millflower in Brooklyn, New York is joining us. Check out the pizza that these guys are doing. Wu-Tang clam, cherry stone clams, garlic, Fresno chili, parsley, and Gran Padano. Can you imagine not wanting that pizza? I just want to drive there so badly to get it. It's amazing. Hey, a little hometown hello to Louis Trophy House in Kalamazoo, Michigan. Thanks so much. Hello to Pam from St. Paul, Minnesota. And you know, we just talked about a place in Vermont. We have people joining us from California. We have some really cool eateries in Pasadena, Aliso Viejo, La Mesa, and Burbank joining us as well, doing specials this evening. And just a quick shout out and thank you to Ruckus Pizza in Raleigh, North Carolina. I keep telling you all to smell your beer, and I keep pouring the beer and talking. All right. So do what I say, don't what I do. I don't know, but I'm going to get my nose in here. I'm going to do a couple of short sniffs, and then I'm going to do a long drive by. So those short sniffs. Yeah, and then I'm going to get in there. And if you have a tough time, if you did what I just did, give it just a touch of a swirl, throw your hand over, and pull it off just as you go to taste. Awesome. I just heard from Nicole that they are enjoying a wonderful date night with pizza from a Pizza Regionale. So I can attest to the fact that that's delicious. I'll tell you that. So here's the neat thing about the light hardened. I hope you're tasting it with me. You start to taste, you've got that nice, beautiful, hot bitterness. It's still happening. And yet you're ready to go for the next sip, right? You're ready to pair it up with something really fun. So I want to talk a little bit about Kitty Hoynes here in Syracuse. I am a bit of an Irish lass, so I love Kitty Hoynes, and you know, they're an amazing publican. Cindy and David Hoyne are fantastic people, and they are pairing tonight with their vegetarian or their chicken and vegetarian flatbread. And I was dying when I picked this up. All I wanted to do was eat it. I just wanted it immediately to be able to take. So we did some with balsamic glaze and some without. But this has chicken and roasted red peppers and spinach. The balsamic, I'm excited to see how it plays. So I'm going to take a bite of it with balsamic and without balsamic, but it's going to be nice and balanced. It's not too high in flavor content that it's going to overwhelm the lighthearted, but it's not too low in flavor content that it would do the same thing. IPAs, we think about the hops. We don't always think about the malt bill, but the malt bill in this beer is going to complement the pizza crust, the flatbread crust on this so well. We're going to pick up a little bit of the roasted red peppers. Spinach tends to be fairly delicate, especially when it's put on a pizza. So this is going to be amazing. Just wanted to say hi to Michael Wickens, home of the Pizza Man Pub. Yay, thanks for joining me, neighbor. Glad to hear that you think this is really fun and a cool way to wind down the week and really together on a Friday evening. We think so too. Cheers, Michael, and to everybody else out there. Thanks for the kudos. Oh, and apparently you're buying my shirt. So I'm glad that I could represent our merchandise as well. Yes, right here. So I'm going to take another sip of the beer, remind my palate what it tastes like. My palate said delicious. So I'm going to get in here. I'm going to grab a piece of this pizza. Who's got an over-under on which, at what point a piece of pizza hits the floor? Anybody? Anybody have an over-under on that as I'm trying to do a bunch of things at once? Oh my God, you guys, I wish I could send you all this flatbread. It's so good. So you get the lighthearted, you take a bite, all of a sudden the roasted red peppers and the spinach jump out. The freshness of them just comes flying up to the top of your palate. Then that bitterness kicks in and clears it, and you're ready for another sip and another bite. My gosh, that's good. Thank you so much to David and Cindy. That is absolutely fantastic. Now let's see what happens when we put a little balsamic with it. You'll wonder where the pizza goes when I've leaned over to the side. So the balsamic, the bitterness kind of helps that a little bit. That bitterness and that sourness tend to play a little bit of a nice dance with each other, and it makes it not quite as pungent, but it makes the bitter less pronounced as well. Really beautiful. Paul's in Orlando on a golf vacation. He just ordered a Bell's Amber. Cheers, Paul. If you can find a sausage pizza nearby, stay tuned. We're going to do some great things with that amber for you in a few minutes. Sorry, guys. I had to swallow there for a second. Maybe I need another sip of beer. We love to hear what y'all are eating for pizza too. I'm so thankful that you all checked in. Let us know where you're coming from. What are you eating? Who made their own pizzas? I'll tell you, we got the good fortune to join Amy and Gonzo on M Live yesterday, and Amy Sherman was talking about folks making their pizzas. Her suggestion was to replace the water in your pizza dough recipe with Lager of the Lakes. OMG. Thank you so much. So excited. I definitely have to do that. I'm really excited to make my own pizza. I can't, Ann Arbor, so close to my heart. The next pizza that we talk about, we're going to talk about a little bit of the Michigan days. So made a Detroit style pizza at home with spinach and mushrooms. Oh, I'm so glad that that's a really great compliment to your beer. Happy National Pizza Day back at ya. Couple more shout outs and hellos. Want to say hello. Some of these guys I'm not going to do well on. I just need you to know, but I'm going to try, and it doesn't mean I love you any less. Pizzaioli in St. Louis, Missouri, traditional Neapolitan pizza. You can get a chicken bacon ranch or a veggie pizza. Going to both be great with everything we have going on. Hello to the Backlot Tap House in Omaha, Nebraska. Buffalo chicken with blue cheese and green onion. That sounds delicious, and I would want to jump all over that with the official that we're having next. Matchbox Pizza in Washington, D.C. Hello to you as well. I do want to jump over to our Pizza Regionale pizza real quick. I have two other ones quick with lighthearted, so let's get through these. This is a really great vegetarian option. So if you're a vegetarian and you're looking at the pizza pairings, one of the ones that I absolutely love is the potato pizza. This is a favorite of mine from way back. It sounds so weird. Why are we putting potato on pizza? Because it's delicious. That's why we're putting potato on pizza. So this one is called Patata. It's got Yukon Gold, really thinly sliced potatoes with Gouda cheese. So that richness of the Gouda cheese really complements the hops and the malt and the lighthearted. And then the rosemary is going to make those hops sing. That little bit of pine that you normally get from the lighthearted is just going to elevate and complement that much more with that rosemary. So let me dig in for a bite. It's just this beautiful herbal flavor. It's so much fun. I want to say hello to Ben, who's enjoying pizza and Bell's beer from Aspen, Colorado, and Jake in Philly with a sausage and fennel, brick oven pie, and a lighthearted. Oh my gosh, that fennel is going to be amazing with the lighthearted. Oh, I love it. Hey to Brendan on YouTube. I will finish my first beer, but I thought y'all wanted me to get through this together in some sort of good way, and then I'll come back to the Pilsner, you know. I told you all the pregame. What do you think I did? Oh, Steven in Queens, New York, making your own pizza. Thanks so much for staying strong down there. I love that it's a weekly tradition now. Oh, and you have a sourdough starter. How many people out there did sourdough starters, right? Like that was a pandemic quarantine thing. I did not. I have been painting. And trying to work on some things in the house. I really do want to do the sourdough starter. I just didn't get started on it. So I've been watching all my friends do these sourdough breads. It's been amazing. So sourdough starter with mushroom and sopressad. Oh, cheers back at you. I love it. One more pizza for this one because we have our Pizza Man pizza, which is a chicken bacon ranch. So you've got the chicken, you've got the bacon and the depth of flavor there, and then the ranch to complement it. I'm going to take a bite of this. I don't know why Shirley's saying that. Shirley apparently thinks that hanging out and having pizza and beer on a Friday night with all my friends from across the country is hero worthy. And I love it. Shirley, you're my hero for joining us. And anybody else hanging out and having pizza and beer with us tonight too. Cheers with my pizza and then with my beer before we move on to the next pairing. Stephanie, I don't know who you are, girl, but you are hilarious. So Stephanie said they're picking up their Tony Pepperonis in 5 football minutes. I had a kid that played football and I had a kid that played lacrosse, and 5 football minutes is a very long time. So long football 5 minutes. Can't wait to get your pizza. Can't wait to have you join us. All right, friends. It's official. It's Pizzapalooza Day. I believe this is officially the best hazy IPA on the market. Want to fight me? All right, so we've got the official hazy IPA. This hop bill is absolutely amazing. You've got the El Dorado in there, super tropical, Mosaic and Citra and Azaka and Amarillo. It's double dry hopped. So one of my favorite things, don't crack it yet. Did you get ahead of me? I hope you didn't get ahead of me. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna crack this. And one of the coolest things that I find about Official is the moment that I crack the beer, there it is. I can smell it. That is absolutely insane. Before I even pour the beer, I can smell that tropical fruit. I can smell that stone fruit. It makes me so excited to get it in my belly. Let's pour it out here. Oh yeah. Look at that golden, beautiful, hazy, pale, perfect color, holding it up there. Look at that gorgeous head, just the right size bubbles to it. Oh, there's just something so amazing. The stone fruit, you can get peach. Oh my gosh, you guys, and the tropical fruit. I'm super sensitive to pineapple. So even though this doesn't have that pineapple hop in it, I always get that like ripe pineapple smell from this beer. Hey to Alex, chicken, bacon, and feta from Wig and Pen with your lighthearted. Go for it. And thanks to Tom for saying thank you and loving Bells and Pizza. We love that too. All right, peeps, let's do this. So soft and pillowy. You get just a mouthful of tropical fruit. You know, it's not like the fruit cocktail with the, heavy syrup you had as a kid, right? It's like that next elevated step when you got old enough to get like the tropical fruit salad in the juice as opposed to in the syrup. That's what it tastes like to me. I just absolutely love it. Love this beer. So we're gonna take a trip back to Michigan. If everybody's okay with that. I think maybe there's some folks from Michigan standing by, right? So when I got to school in Michigan, we ordered pizzas. I worked at a place called Cottage Inn Cafe years and years ago in the restaurants. And everybody ordered this one pizza. And the pizza came and it was square. And I was like, it's not Sicilian, what's that? And then they did the pizza with ham, feta cheese, which BT dubs, I went to college a minute ago, and a girl from upstate New York did not know what feta was, okay? With banana pepper rings and pineapple. And I was like, did you seriously just put pineapple on a pizza? They did. And guess what, friends? It was absolutely delicious. I have never been able to recreate that flavor since I left Michigan. So when I go back to Michigan, I get that very beautiful Detroit style pizza with all of those really great flavors going on. Before I jump into what we're doing for the pizza, I just want to make sure we say hi to Scooter's Cafe and Pizzeria, watching us live on the big screen at Scooter's Cafe in Saugatuck, Michigan, open for safe, delicious takeout and delivery. I know that anybody that's in the area can give them a call. The specialty pizza and ice cold 6-packs of Old Brown and Two Hearted. Thank you so much for being with us. My favorite style of beer. So it's a tough one, guys. So asking my favorite style of beer is like asking me my favorite place to vacation. I love to travel, or asking me which one of my kids I like better. Changes by the moment or the day. It depends on who's behaving and misbehaving, right? So one day, Sean might be my favorite. 2 hours later, Patrick might be my favorite. It depends on the situation, the ambiance, the environment, what I'm eating, what's happening. So just like with beer, right? So it depends on what's happening and what the occasion is. I love an IPA, but I have to tell you, I had the very good fortune of being in Cologne, Germany, and Cologne. I was like, I don't like Kolsch. I don't like Kolsch. When you are sitting in Cologne, Germany, and they're bringing you those beautiful glasses of Kolsch, and they just keep bringing it to you over and over again until you put your coaster on top to tell them to stop. And it's a hot 92-degree day. Suddenly, it's my favorite. All right, but if I'm hanging out and it's the middle of winter and I'm eating, you know, some fun stuff with friends and I just want something warm like a barley wine or that tastes like raisins or rum or a nice, beautiful milk stout. So it changes by the day. We got to talk about this pizza because hot Hawaiian is the pizza that Pizza Man gave to us. So on this pizza, we have jalapeno peppers, pineapple, ham, bacon. Yeah. So what's going to happen with this beer? Well, I believe what's going to happen is that pineapple is going to have a little complimentary dance with the official. The ham has that salt in it. So salt is this really great like conduit of every other flavor. If you think about when you make cake or when you make brownies, you put the salt in to enhance the sweetness. It can also attack bitter so that bitter's not as much, and bitter can attack salt, so it's not as salty. Then this really fun thing happens with hops and capsaicin and peppers and spice, where it elevates it. So, you know, elevates, exacerbates the heat level. So the hops are gonna turn up that heat on the peppers, but then you're gonna get this beautiful dance, that umami from the meat. Umami? What's umami? Umami, we talk about it with soy sauce. It's that meaty flavor, that richness that you get in your mouth. Then the official, the bitterness, and that's the beauty about a hazy IPA, the official from Bell's, is not only do you get that beautiful tropical fruit juice flavor, there's a great bitterness that clears it all away and just makes you want to take another sip or just makes you want to take another bite. So 3, 2, 1. My pizza clearer is here and I'm not doing it. We're having another bite. We got to go in for another one, guys. We got to go in for another one. Oh my gosh. Pineapple jumping out of my mouth, and then it just has this little bit of spice dancing around it, clears that ham and bacon from my palate, and just makes me want to have another one. Oh, yes. Brandon, I bet you're right. Official being available in North Carolina probably was the best day since your kids were born. I hope you have great days with them and with Official, and that we all get to celebrate together. Mark, hi back at you from Ann Arbor. Love that you're having it two-hearted with your pizza and you're planning on pulling a BB Expo from the beer cellar a little later. Are you sharing that beer from the beer cellar with me? Are you? Hi to Mark Feldman from Wisconsin. A couple more shout outs to some really great accounts that are joining us from across the country. Just want to say hi to the pizza company in Munhall, Pennsylvania. We heard from Flo and Santos in Chicago, Illinois earlier. Glad you're hanging out with us. Hello to Big Bob's Pizza in Grand Rapids, Michigan. Pizza Regionale and Kitty Hoynes and Pizza Man Pub. We just wanted to say thank you again for you guys being here and for letting me come and get pizzas and have a great time with you. We're really excited to have you. What did they just ask me? What is your most interesting beer I've ever tasted? What's my most interesting beer I've ever tasted? That's a really great question. So I'm not 100% positive what my most interesting beer. So once upon a time, I got to be the event coordinator for Syracuse Beer Week here in Syracuse, New York, back in the day when those were kind of a thing. I went to an extreme beer tasting, and there were beers that were exported from Europe that were purposely put in barrels on the mast of the ship so that the salt water hit them the entire time that they were coming across the ocean, and you could taste that in the beer. So I would say, like, most interesting, I would give that one to. I have a lot of different beers. I'm a sour girl too. I happen to love sours, wood barrel aged sours, kettle sours, Berliner Weiss, Goza, love them all. So that in itself is kind of really cool too. I do have another pizza from a Pizza Regionale that I want to talk about a little bit also with this official. So this is called the Rucolo Pizza, smoked prosciutto, mozzarella, fontina, and fresh arugula. Fontina cheese, highly underrated cheese, my friend. Highly underrated cheese. I feel like Havarti and fontina need to come up to the forefront. Fontina for pizzas, if you're making pizzas at home, it's this really amazing, melty, delicious happiness that everyone should have involved. So this beautiful piece of artwork is smoked prosciutto with that arugula, with the fontina cheese. Ready? Let's do it. The smoke and the bitter together balance each other on their own in the pizza. So you talk about chefs and brewers, it's really an art and science together, whether you're doing culinary or you're doing brewing. So they're balancing within there with the smoked prosciutto and the arugula. And then we throw ours in, and oh my gosh, you guys, orange comes flying out of the beer. Just flying out of the beer. This beautiful orange with just a touch of pithiness is so amazing. Phil had pizza last night, so he's one day off. Had some Bell's Incessant double NEIPA with it, and it was great. He says, cheers from Plum Market, Maple Road, Ann Arbor. And I believe is the third person from Michigan to rub Incessant in my face. I don't know, is anybody else counting? Anybody else counting? Because I'm just saying, if anybody from Bell's is watching, really like some Incessant. So I was super excited to hear earlier, we talked about people coming in from all across the country. So we heard from Vermont, we heard from California, we've heard from Florida, from states all over in between. I've been really nervous to say the name of this eatery, but I'm so excited to tell you that joining us also with specials in Carolina, Puerto Rico, we have Pimenton Pizzeria and Breweria, there it is. So pizza and beer from Pimenton and Carolina, Puerto Rico. We're so happy to have you. Thank you so much for joining us. Hi, Marissa. Thanks so much for joining in with us as well. All right, people, I'm going to go ahead and start to open this Bell's Porter. This bad boy came out in 1987. That's right, 1987. If I told you it was older than me, would you immediately call me a liar? Yeah, you would. Yeah, you would. Say hello to a few more of our friends. Pinocchio's Restaurant in Douglas, Michigan. Thanks so much. And the Flying Saucer in Raleigh, North Carolina. Thank you. What's up, PDA in Brooklyn, New York? Long Lake Grocery in Traverse City, Michigan. Thanks so much for joining us. What smells so good, guys? Sabatini's Pizza in Exeter, PA. Hey. And Aldo's Pizza Pies in downtown Memphis, Tennessee. Serving up the Lombardi with tomato sauce, meatballs, mozzarella, and ricotta. Love that idea. Guys, smell your beer. Smell your beer. So much coffee. So much roasty toastiness. So much happiness. So here's what happens. You look at this beer, and you know, our eyes like to trick us. People look at this beer and they're like, oh, it's heavy. It's heavy, or it's sweet. Here's the deal. No, it's roasted malt. Roasted malt is delicious. It's not any heavier than the other malt. It just changes the color and the flavor. So let's take another sniff together, and then let's taste this puppy. Beautiful. Nice dark chocolate, nice roast and toast. Got a little bit of the bitterness at the end from the hops, balancing everything out. Super creamy mouthfeel for me, but not heavy on my palate. I absolutely love that. You want to geek out for a second? Let's talk about the Maillard procedure. So Maillard, what is it? A duck? Maybe, I don't know. But what it actually is when it comes to this is how we roast and toast and all these beautiful flavors that come out. So the Maillard procedure happens when you're roasting malt. Malt starts out, it's hanging out, we roast it up, and it either is going to take on caramel notes or biscuit or chocolate or coffee. Think about when you go ahead and you bite into a bite of garlic and you're like, oh, bitter. I'm not exactly eating a clove of garlic. But if you put it in the oven and you let it caramelize and roast, and then you bite into it and it's got this beautiful roasted flavor with the garlic, it's absolutely amazing. That's what's happening to the malt. So caramelizing, whether it's onions or whether you're getting the crust on your steak or on your burger, that happens in the malt too. Now that we chatted about it, taste it again. I can't help but smell. I was walking through a hotel with family once. I poured the water from the lobby with the fruit in it, and I immediately do this. I'm trained. Beautiful coffee flavor. So first we're going to talk about this pizza from a pizza regionale. It's called a salsiccia. Holly's going to kill me because I said salsiccia, but it's a salsiccia pizza. So this has this really cool cheese on it, Cavallo cheese, and then it has their house sausage and chicito peppers on it. So those peppers have just a little bit of spice, but they have some really great depth to them. So now we're talking about the Maillard procedure. When you talk about that wood-fired crust, everything that's happening to that crust and everything that's happening to that dough, all those flavors are going to immediately marry the flavors in the porter, and they're gonna make them sing, right? They're just gonna elevate them. They're gonna complement the sausage, and there's a little bit of sourness in these marinated onions and that little bit of heat from the pepper. You got some pizza, bring it in. So to me, automatically, I can taste a little bit more of the fennel in the sausage. It really calms down any spice that would be in that pepper, but it makes it kind of come out in a fresher way. Absolutely delicious. Now we talk about pizza that I grew up on. So grew up in a big family, youngest of 8. So you know how much we went out to dinner, right? Twice a year. Once to a place called Dominic's, once to a place called Country Inn where my dad worked. That's this kind of same sauce, and the sausage looks exactly the same, and the mushrooms look exactly the same. We didn't get an option as kids in a family of 8 whether or not you got mushrooms on the pizza. You just got them. You ate the mushrooms. So I'm so excited to taste this pizza. Bring it in. Here's the thing. Every one of us has a different tasting profile. When you go to taste something, it brings back memories. Whether it's your grandma's molasses cookies when you taste something darker, whether it's hanging out and playing with your friends in fresh cut grass, and you remember that, all of those sensory images and all of that history plays into what we eat and how we taste when we taste food and beer together. That's why I love tasting food and beer together. It's a dance. It makes all of those memories come back to me. It's absolutely, absolutely one of those things that just surged and sent me back to childhood. My dad's been gone 20 plus years, taking a bite of this pizza, tasting that sauce with the sausage and the mushrooms, taking a sip of that beer, that brought me back to my childhood days. I hope you are lucky enough and fortunate enough to put beer and food together in the way that you too get to have all of those memories and all of that history come shouting back at you. Not putting this one down. I definitely want to take some questions if folks have them. So if you have questions, throw them up there so I can answer them for you. I want to say hi to Phil. His wife, Vicky, is wearing her Bell's t-shirt today. Hey girl, twinsies. All right. I know that I also wanted to say hi to Lee's Grocery in Tampa, Florida. Scooter's Cafe and Pizzeria. Michigan folks, please don't hurt me. Ready? They're in Saugatuck, Michigan. I did it. I got that one. I got that one. Mellow Mushroom in Birmingham, Alabama, doing the mighty meaty. Gnarly Barley in Orlando, jalapeno popper flatbread. Girl, send that up. Send that up to Syracuse, New York, jalapeno popper flatbread. Wisconsin. Why do you have a city that is MEQUON for those of us that can't pronounce things? McCone Pizza Company, I hope. I really do, I hope. And again, we love you and we thank you for participating with us. And I'm so sorry for being such a jerk that I can't pronounce things. Thank you to Josie's Pizza and Wings in Orlando. They're doing a half spicy Italian and a half buffalo chicken. Blackstone Pizza Company in Iron Mountain, Michigan. Oh, people, if you're local to that, you buy any pizza for takeout or delivery and you get a 6-pack of Oberon, 2-Hearted, or Amber for $10. Girl, pick up the phone. Pick up the phone. And then Boulders on Southern in Mesa, Arizona, we want to thank you for partnering with us too. I'm here to answer questions. I haven't seen any come in yet. I do want to say thank you. If anybody's not hanging out with us for questions, I want to thank you so much for joining us, for hanging out with me in my living room from Baldwinsville, New York. We like to call this a pandemic positive, where we actually get to gather people and have community from coast to coast, top to bottom, side to side. I truly am honored and feel blessed that you all chose to spend your Friday evening with us. I couldn't be more excited to showcase my hometown with pizzas from Pizza Man Pub and a Pizza Regionale, as well as Kitty Hoynes. I want to say thank you to those partners of ours, as well as all of the partners that I've listed. We are truly grateful and humbled and honored that you are partners of Bell's Brewery, and I am humbled and honored to get to call myself an employee at Bell's Brewery and work with the best team in the entire world. So I'm going to open it up to questions, and as I'm waiting for them to come in, totally eating a bite of pizza. So go ahead, type in, I'm going to chew. Jimmy that tried the new incessant double IPA last night and loved it. We can't wait for you to come back to Kazoo either from Westland. You love Bell's, we love you. We're so glad that you joined us tonight. I'll give just a couple moments in case we have any questions. I think maybe I'll just talked all your ears off this evening and you don't have a ton of questions after everything that we were chatting about. So if you have questions, please feel free to join us in the chat. It took a whole big old team of people to make tonight happen. Looks like a little simple something from Baldwinsville, New York, with a chick standing here and eating pizza. But if it weren't for the team of professionals in sales and marketing that put this team together to make tonight happen, we couldn't have done it. We couldn't have taken a day, National Pizza Party Day, and turned it into National Pizzapalooza. It's an elevation that I'm super proud to have been part of. I hope you all enjoyed pizza with us. I hope you all enjoyed beer with us. Take your pizza and your beer to the next level every chance you get. Don't take it for granted. Pay attention to the layers of flavor in the ingredients and the layers of flavor in cheese and crust. Make yourself a sourdough starter while you can. See what you can do with that. But from all of us at Bell's Brewery to all of you in every living room across the country, from Puerto Rico to Vermont, New York and DC to LA, cheers, my friends. Couldn't have spent a better Friday evening. So grateful, so gracious. Eat great pizza, pair it with great beer. Come and see us again. I've got a question about which pizza would we put with Oberon from Marissa. Marissa, that would go really great in the official spot. So where we did that chicken, or the Hawaiian pizza, that would be perfect. That's really delicious with that kind of wheat flavor going with the crust, the pineapple dancing across the citrus. That would be really, really yummy together. Any other questions, anybody? Oh. Is there, Stephen asked, is there a perfect Centennial Hopped IPA? Well, yes, Stephen, I do believe there is. It's called Two Hearted, and it's been the #1 IPA in the country 3 years running. We would love to see that. Maybe it was Stephanie. I'm not sure, but I will tell you that we absolutely love our Two Hearted. It would be wonderful. If you could only choose one, what would it be? Beer or water? Dude. Beer saves civilization. Beer is safer than water. It's been safer than water since the beginning. We found out even on a wine trip in Portugal, when you are thirsty, they quench your thirst with beer. A really, really, really nice Pilsner is perfect for that. Danny asked, which one of the beers would you recommend for Pizza Man Pub's Sweet Heat Pizza? So I know a lot about Pizza Man Pub, but I don't know what's on their Sweet Heat Pizza. I'm gonna just jump out of sorts here and start coming up with some ideas. So if we're trying to go with sweet and heat, I do like that coffee toasted notes. Oh, guys, you know what I would do? I would do a Bell's Brewery cherry stout. I mean, yes, I would, because you have that beautiful Michigan cherry to balance with the sweet and to contrast the spicy. And then you have that chocolate and coffee note. Yeah, girl, sweet heat, Bell's cherry stout, done. Do I love Two Hearted more than Official? We talked about this. I have 2 children. I love them equally, one more than the other sometimes. There's your answer. It depends on the situation and the setting. With my kids, how they're behaving. With my beer, what the situation is. How do I feel about cold pizza? The older that I've gotten, the less I like cold pizza. But what did the night before look like? So here's the thing. I have this pizza stone. I've worked years and years as an adult to season my pizza stone. So if I've seasoned my pizza stone, I want to use it. I learned from a pizza regionale earlier, when it's a wood-fired pizza, you should actually warm it up on the stove. No oil, no butter, just in a saute pan at medium. Okay. Michael Green, Philly cheesesteak and bacon thin crust. What style of beer? Again, I'm going to go with one of 2 here. So you could do something really fantastic like Two Hearted, where you're going to play against the crust and you're going to let it cut through the fat of both the steak and the cheese and the bacon. So every time that carbonation, that bitterness from the Centennial hops is going to cleanse your palate. Or you go all in and you do that Bell's Porter, and that's going to go ahead and complement and harmonize with the Philly cheesesteak, and you've still got the hops in there to cut through. Yeah, for sure, Michael. Porter or IPA. So here's the other thing, guys. When you are pairing beer with food, beer has so many elements to it. You're going to have all kinds of different portions of that painting that you can pick out. Maybe it's the trees, maybe it's the water, maybe it's the, the person. And you're gonna pick that and highlight whatever that is and shine a light behind it to complement whatever you have going on with your food. You're going to have some things that taste fine, where they balance one another, they don't make each other better, they don't make each other worse. That's a fine pairing. You're going to have the mecca of pairings, where you put it in your mouth and you put the beer in your mouth and everything just sings. And you're like, oh my gosh, that is the exact thing that made the food better and the beer better. And you know what else is gonna happen? You're gonna have some train wrecks. You think I don't have train wrecks? I was doing sausages last week for dinner and I had a couple different beers out studying. I put a sausage in my mouth and I tasted the beer and I looked at my son and I was like, and it took everything inside me not to put that in a napkin, right? I was like, I'm the adult in this situation. I have to chew this and swallow and pick the right beer to complement it to cleanse that out of my mouth. So just play. Just play. Play with beer, play with food, make it all better together. I think we've gotten through all the questions. Can I get a yes from my friends behind the scenes that we made it through all the questions? Oh, yes. So I think we're good. So once again, my friends, I am so excited that we got to spend the evening with you. I am so thankful that you let us spend the evening with you during these crazy and turbulent times, and that Bell's Brewery was able to offer something for community at large, from coast to coast, top to bottom. And from us at Bell's Brewery to all of you in your living rooms, from my house in Beeville to all of yours, cheers, my friends. Thank you for joining us.